What's up, everyone? Just a little excited with the draft going on today and decided to take the plunge into this. Something I've been working on for a little while. Getting some WHL hockey back in our lives. Congratulations to all the draftees today. Getting me excited again about WHL hockey. So this is of course, NHL 14 that I have edited the rosters in. Tonight is an exhibition game, of course. This is my first time doing this. We'll see how it works. Tune in on YouTube. It's just me sitting here watching this game, drinking my, of course, our favorite beer here, Rebellion, Solo Crush. And yeah, we're going to sit and watch this game. So I put in the rosters of what the WHL had as their end of year 2019 rosters. Kind of had to work on the ratings, of course. What I worked with was a base of 70 for everyone, and then it goes up depending on my notes near my if you were a 20-year-old, I think you went up to a 73, and then as if you were a top forward, you'd move up and whatnot. So I'll get into that a little bit later, but I'm not going to do play-by-play. I realize that's something that's well out of my skill set. So just going to let the game audio come through. I turned down the announcers because they use the old names. So you'd hear like all the old Pats, regardless of changing the players. Ooh, big hit there on... Anyways, so yeah, I've done this a few times. It was kind of fun. Some pretty lopsided scores I've seen, so we'll see how this plays out. Again, it's just me sitting here, so if you're on YouTube, write something in the chat, because it's just me doing this on my own. The plan is hopefully we do this weekly. Hopefully not just me going forward, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how long I have to do it. Hopefully it's not too long. But yeah, it might be something fun. We'll get Clarksy out. I didn't even tell him I was doing this tonight. But here I am. Just thought I would get going at it, have some fun with it. An exhibition game. Maybe a few glitches. Running this through my old PlayStation 3. Still kicking. The old fatty 32 gig, I think. It was the first OG. And yeah, so we'll watch this, have some fun, see what happens. Of course, we're playing in Moose Jaw tonight. And I set the attendance to be what I thought was applicable. I think I put them at 10% attendance. Moose Jaw, hey, they've been socially distancing before that was a thing. They've been doing good at their games, socially distancing, make sure they're not spreading any diseases, which is, of course, a very big problem in Moose Jaw. But Chris, I am drinking the Solo Crush. So I heard recently, I just saw their tweet today, I think they re-released the Solo Crush to be a wet hop beer. So I am going to go get that tomorrow, hopefully. Of course, the Solo Crush, hazy, juicy, fruity, delicious. Typically, they put more than one hop in their beer, I guess. So this is made with one specific hop. Don't know which it is, but the new one, of course, made by single hop, and I think the wet hop is from the JGL hop factory over not factory farm in Saskatchewan. So they're using a single Saskatchewan hop, which is probably one of the first times that's ever happened. So I'm doing, what am I doing? How long's the period here? I think 15 or 20 minutes. Must be 20 minutes. Yeah, I did a few sims recently. Oh yeah, this is a wet JGL. That's awesome. So September 23rd. This is okay. I didn't know what to expect with the wet hop, but I mean, that's good. I don't know. You know, when they were talking about wet hop, I was expecting something kind of different, but no, this is nice. I don't see why anyone wouldn't like this if you like a hoppy beer. But even then, it's not that hoppy. Not like their hazy. Their hazy IPA. That's my favorite. But anyways, I quickly decided not to do play-by-play. I tried that for a little while. It wasn't going to work. Maybe we can talk Rod Peterson into coming in and doing some play-by-play. But that is certainly a skill that someone has to develop. You don't just sit down and do it. Interesting to hear. Pats, of course, lost lots of money doing it. Yeah, exactly, right? They were, but you gotta admit they were ahead of the curve here, keeping it flat, keeping all those diseases down in Moose Jaw down. So that's great. But so I've been doing this a couple sims. I did some playthroughs and had some really lopsided scores with the same settings and everything. You'd see like 11-2 for the Pats, 9-1 for Moose Jaw. So we'll see how this one goes. We'll see. But overall, it's pretty good. Listen to the announcers a lot. Pretty generic sort of things coming out of them. All I've really done for the roster so far is Moose Jaw and Regina, so that's why I started with them. But so far, so good, I think. Keeping the balance accurate. I'll work on one of the better teams from last year coming up here and pit them against Regina and see how that plays out. Of course, as much as I hate to say it, Regina should lose to like a Portland or an Edmonton or something like that. So I'll do that over this week and into the weekend. And kind of hoping to do a weekly. I don't know if Clark is interested in that or not, but have someone over and sit and talk beers, do some drinking, and talk about Pats and how things are going. Oh, Jacob Brook. Wow, good for him. Nice goal. So Jacob Brook, of course, was on the initial prospects list for the NHL draft, but he fell off this year with his injury, I think, and came over to Regina. Happy to have him. Excited to see him. He did get to play. Came over with an injury. We weren't really sure if we were going to get to see him, but we did get to see him a little bit. From what I saw, liked him. He's gritty, and he's got a bit of a scoring touch, so that'll be awesome. Hopefully get to see him again. I'm not going to talk negative. I'm going to keep all that. We're just having some fun here, so we won't dwell on the current situation and the potential reality of the future WHL season. But yeah, it was nice to see the draft today, seeing lots of guys getting picked up. Didn't see any Pats. Riker Evans, I think, was our lone hope this year, but yeah, didn't get picked up. But still one of my favorite players. I think he does deserve some attention going forward, even as signing as a free agent or some camp options. So we'll probably do this. I don't have to talk to if anyone's going to come over, but so again, once a week. Fridays or Saturdays, I think, probably the best, and probably a little bit later, like 8:30, 9 o'clock would be nice. Get the kids to bed, so to speak, well, not so to speak, in actuality, and yeah, new look studio here too, folks. Kind of nice little setup here. That was my COVID project. Painted the walls. Got this. Unfortunately, we didn't get to really show off this nice sign here Chris's buddy made. It's beautiful. I mean, it looks even better in person, but shit. So, funny enough, I did give Damian Hunt, what category was it? Discipline or something like that. I really turned down his discipline, so we'll see if that comes through in this game, just because of course, the last season's little escapade that he did near the end of the season where he threw the game-winning puck over the glass as the Pats tried to retrieve it for the goaltender for his first WHL win. And I can't remember who that was, actually, now that we're talking about it. Was it Was it Walkie? Shoot, who was it? Chris, if you can remember who got their first win when he threw it over. Anyway, sparked a bit of controversy on Twitter. First period here winding down. So this is much better. I like this 1-1. Last year, I think Spencer Welke's. Okay, yeah, it was his first win. And that was certainly. It was kind of too bad. That was Robbie Holmes. Did he play after that? I can't remember. He was supposed to come back, but I think they called the season. I think that might have been his last game, and went out in style, beating up a Moose Jaw Warrior. What more can you ask from Regina Pat in his 20-year-old year? Anyways, yeah, that was. I mean, that's the sad part of the COVID ending, right? Is that none of these guys got their proper send-off. But we will live on their glory here in NHL 14. Oh, look at the stands. Look at Moose Jaw. What a dump. Look at, there's nobody even there. They didn't capture the red seats. That would have been even better. That would show up really well. Yeah. We're going to rag on Moose Jaw always. Don't worry about it. Still have the old school logo at the middle there. So, of course, they've changed that this year. They just put in their ice, and they have the Moose logo. Again, it's cartoon character. I despise cartoon characters as logos. Oh, we're going to getting a power play here. Let's look at that. What happened here? Oh, yeah. Was that a trip? Interference? Tripping, yep. I saw when I was watching earlier, there was a boarding penalty. It was just brutal. Kyle Walker just absolutely wallpapered this guy from behind, and I just like to build that into a game is just pretty interesting. I think like just face planted him into the glass. They called it a 2-minute boarding, and actually a little bit later in the game I was just kind of previewing this with goaltender interference. I think it was Dubinsky who just ran the goaltender and it started a fight, and I thought, oh, that's pretty good actually. Like that's probably what would happen. There would be the response of a fight, especially between these two teams. So thanks to Scott at Fanaholic. He recommended this PC program that you can edit all the rosters in. It makes this whole process way easier. So that's where you could edit like Damian Hunt's whatever it was, discipline, or I forget the exact category, something like that. I turned it pretty low. Anyways, you can obviously adjust the fans in attendance. So Moose Jaw is always going to suck. I'm not changing that. You can at me all you want, but we're going to keep that rivalry going even in this COVID year. But yeah, lots of fun things you can do. Took all the pictures away because it was like old pictures of Adam Brooks and Sam Steele in their early years, and Morgan Klimchuk and stuff like that. So that's what the announcer still says. He still says their names no matter what you change. It's too bad you can't change, like, spell it out phonetically for him or something. But regardless, the way I've set it up for my PlayStation 3, old school fatty, like I said, coming through this capture card that I got off garage sale for $20, which is kind of cool. Because interestingly enough, capture cards this year went, because of COVID, went out of control. Like the black, or I guess not the black market, but the resale market on them was crazy because everyone was having to do these Zoom meetings from home, and using their cameras and stuff, trying to hook them up to their computer, had to buy these capture cards. So basically it takes the camera signal, converts it so your computer can use it as a webcam, so to speak. Like I'm using a GoPro I picked up actually right now instead of a webcam, using a GoPro because I actually wanted that wider field of view. So using a GoPro into another capture card. So I have 2 capture cards, but not a big deal there. I did find some used ones for a good price. And yeah, so PlayStation 3 coming through here. Yeah, and I guess NHL 14 was one of the last ones that you could really export the rosters, and they didn't have all these weird protections on it. So I don't have a PlayStation 4 to use whatever NHL 19 or 20 the new ones for the updated rosters, but I don't know, just get a little bit more control over this, a little bit more fun. So we'll see. At the intermission, I'll grab my scoring, how I did it. I think it's a good idea, is some help from Scott on what should the baseline be, and then how you progress up with each, say, skill level. So for instance, I gave the 20s a little bit of an advantage. So each team's 20 regardless of their scoring or anything like that. I just gave them an overall of 73. Of course, the baseline being a 70 for just regular players. And then I looked at the year-end statistics for scoring for both forwards and defensemen. I know defensemen, it's tough. Like, scoring isn't always necessarily what you'd look at with a defenseman, of course, but really didn't really have much else to work with. It was just me trying to figure this out. But I mean, if you use the actual stats, it's like overall 50s and stuff like that. So yeah, I'll get some more teams done, do a little bit more simulation on my own, and yeah, we'll do a full season. Actually, they have a season built in. Season mode, we'll see how that goes. For fun, I put the Pats at like all 99s, and I did a few like single game simulations, and I was surprised it didn't actually seem to throw it off that bad. But then I did a full season simulation, and this is still a 72 game season, and so they were 72-0. Absolutely, like every game was 11-1, 9-2, things like that. And I think it was Carter Chorney actually ended up with like 300 and some points, 100 and some goals, 200 and some assists. It was just silly. But I wanted to see. But it was funny when I actually did just single game simulations. It didn't seem to throw it off that bad. And especially, so the reason I have NHL 94 is that it has, NHL 14 is that it has NHL 94 kind of anniversary mode in it. And of course, that's from my generation. I played the shit out of that and just loved it. So any chance, I mean, you could pick this game up that I got. 14's like $5, right, on eBay. So picked that up, played a bit of that, and then started tinkering with the rosters. And then it was when Scott mentioned that you could get this program and you could just edit everything on your computer and then upload the rosters. Oh, nice grab. You could upload the looking at a little shorthanded event. Ooh, nice. The only thing is, I might have to talk to some of the fans out there regarding the starting lineup. So when you're editing this and you get to the lineups, it uses whatever player you changed. Anyways, long story, probably the lineups aren't accurate. So I did the Pats. I tried to do the best I could for the Warriors, but I might reach out to some fans of those teams to give me what they would want to see as a starting lineup based on last year's roster. For power play 1, power play 2, line 1, line 2, and stuff like that. Your defensive pairings and stuff like that. Because I don't know. I don't really care to look either. I did try. I think I tried with Moose Jaws or some other team's Twitter to go back at their. But I got a full-time job. I'm not sitting around looking at some teams last year's starting lineup for random games. So maybe I'll reach out to. Who's that Moose shot? Oh, nice pass! Wow. Was that a shorty too? No, we were back to full strength. Let's see a replay of that. That's some nice patience. Drew Angelot. Yeah, nice. Denemy. Oh, okay, Denemy. Like, this is almost what... So Denemy, last year, watching him, beautiful playmaker. So excited to watch him coming up this year. I think he would have been really taking that step this year for... I think his assists, man. He's such a playmaker. So just to see this replicated, right? Going to Angelot, a guy who took huge strides last year, kind of came in as, I don't know, someone, we didn't really know too much about, but he really stepped up over the year last year. actually became one of my favorite players. I really liked him, actually. Yeah, so that was a nice play. Busky, come on, man. I think you saw that the whole way. Martin Lang. Oh, should have had that. Low glove. Here we are, 2-2 tie. Actually, this is a good game. This is one of the better ones I've simulated. I think putting it on, I think I had an all-star setting. I think that's the difference. I had it on pro before, and that's when it seemed to get lopsided. We'll try with this all-star setting going forward. Again, I'm not playing. I don't play video games like this. I can't play games that rely on a lot of buttons. I can play the NHL style, NHL 94, because it's like 3 buttons. But even this one, NHL 14, it's just like, fuck, man, there's too much going on. I can't keep up with it. I need to play retro games. So, yeah, you should have saved your game sheets. You didn't keep those, hey? We'll see if we can find some. I'm sure if I tweet people from the Pat's Gas account. I don't know if Chris, you'll notice the new logo there that I made. Pat's Gas Media, because we're more than just a podcast now, obviously. We're into the full game simulation and stuff. Well, that's not bad. I like that. It says wet JGL on the bottom. September 23rd. So, I mean, you're drinking beer. Like, I bought this a little while ago now. A week ago. So, I mean, you're drinking beer that's like 2 weeks old. And there's some that I've bought that's like 2 days old. That's pretty cool. Second period, you're winding down. Good, 2-2 tie. It's nice game so far. Nice to see it's not lopsided. Of course, the old blues, the old Pats jerseys. I guess, or would they be retro? Would you call those retro? The old logo. So you notice I had to take off the music. YouTube goes through, and they'll have like bots or scanning things that any licensed music, it'll shut down your stream. I was watching some streams where people were walking, like just live streams of people with their camera walking by people playing music on like their, what's the right word for ghetto blaster? I don't know. That doesn't seem politically correct anymore. Anyway, someone would walk by and their stream would get shut down because someone was playing the music over their stereo and their phone, and then their stream picked it up, so they'd get shut down. So I had to turn off the music. Maybe I'll find some stream-friendly music. It does exist out there to play in the background when I'm not talking. But anyways, yeah, it'd be nice to we'll get this going. Hopefully you don't have to do it all year, but we'll get this going on Fridays or Saturday nights and do our season simulation and probably show off one of the games of the week. Get the rosters built up for the rest of the teams. Probably just do Pat's games, but I mean, if there's interest to do more, we'll sit here and shoot the shit. Maybe do some double headers. We could do an east game, west game. Kind of be fun. And yeah, get some people over, drink some brews. So yeah, if you guys have any suggestions on some beers to try, we'll buy them, try them out, and give your feedback. Or cocktails. You know, I was talking about that. I like cocktails. I don't drink many. I don't know. I just usually do Scotch straight or something like that. But mixing cocktails is fun. We could do that. If you guys have some recipes or want to share those with us. And I've been on, I kind of did a Moscow Mule kick. Basically, because someone gave me the copper mugs, I wanted to figure out what the hell to drink out of them. So, yeah, I did some Moscow Mules. And then I adapted it thanks to Travis Mecke, Old Man Met, gave me a recipe for what are they called? Dark and Stormies. So, of course, Moscow Mule is vodka and ginger beer and lime. Dark and Stormy is ginger beer and like Kraken, that spiced sweet rum or whatever it's called, dark rum, and ginger beer and lime. And those were good. I had a few of those over the summer. And mojitos. Grew my own mint, so of course I had to have mojitos. Fantastic summer drink. But of course, I know sometimes beer, it's just a little, sometimes I don't feel like a little bloaty or something like that, but cocktails, you can kind of dial them up a little bit too. So if you want to have a little extra punch, you can do that. Yeah, thanks, buddy. Wildcast podcast. Of course, they get real hockey over in the queue. We're not as fortunate. I don't know how things are going to go over there in the queue. It sounds like things aren't so great today. But yeah, man, this is all I got. I got a PlayStation 3, so I don't have a PlayStation 4 or anything. I was thinking about a 5, but I don't know. I'm not going to drop like $7 on a video game console that really I don't necessarily need right now. Yeah, so NHL 14, of course, you can edit the rosters a little bit easier. They changed some stuff after that, so you'd have to go in and I think do it manually, and I am not going to sit there and do that through the PlayStation. So this way I can just do it on my computer, and it's a lot of fun so far. I don't know. I mean, I haven't played next gen games, but shit, this looks pretty good to me. When I play with the announcers on and stuff, it's fairly fun. Maybe we'll get some intra-league games going. Some scrimmages between the Dub and the Q before Memorial Cup or something like that. But I need your help with the rosters and the ratings and things. I don't know anything. Looks more realistic, yeah? Yeah. Yeah, I had to tinker. I had to change the stats. You know what? I'll grab my rules here right away. All right. So, I have all the rosters here. So what I did for forwards, I called them the Gen Pop. So general population, I rated at 70. I gave 21-year-olds a 73, regardless. I just thought, your 20-year-old deserves a little bit extra. And then I took the overall scoring stats from the end of the season. So if they are 1 to 10, I gave them an 85 overall average. 10 to 20, I gave them an 80. 25 to 30, I gave them a 75. And then defense, again, I had to use scoring. I don't know, it's tough to really judge the whole league of defensemen. So I had to use scoring. Probably some guys on there that should be rated higher won't be because maybe they didn't have as many goals, but they're good defensemen. But regardless, so general gave them 70. And then 20-year-olds, 20-year-olds gave them 73s. And 1 to 10, I gave 85. 10 to 15, 80 overall. And then 15 to 30, I gave them 75 overall. Goalies, I went on goals against average, so less than 2. I got an 85. I think there was only one. Dustin Wolf. And less than 2.5, you got an 80. And then less than 3, so between 2.5 and 3, I gave them a 75. And then everyone else got a 70. And then there was one criterion there. It was called consistency, I think it was, with goaltenders. And I only gave the less than 2s a 2. Everyone else got a 1. But if you were a 70, you got a 0. So we'll see. I'm going to get, maybe I'll do Everett or Portland next. Or, yeah, because I think they have some of the better goaltenders statistically. So I'm going to do one of those teams and pair them up with either Moose Jaw or Regina and see how that plays out. I would think I should get shit kicked just because, I mean, that's reality. So we'll see. And I think actually I'm going to, now that we have the draft through, anyone that got drafted, if they weren't in a higher category, I'll bump them up a bit. But I think it'll capture, if you're going by scoring, it'll capture most of those guys that got drafted. Like you're looking at like Tristan Robbins and things. They're in the higher category already. So we'll see how that works. So far so good. 10 minutes left. 9 minutes left. 2-2 tie. Well, that's a good game so far. Impressed. I was worried about being able to talk the whole time, but here we are. Just talking shit, and if there's someone else here, that'd be a lot easier, but not too bad. So, of course, can't include... I was thinking about using this year's rosters, but when you're getting into it, like how do I pick if a team has 4 19-year-olds, 5 19-year-olds, who's going to be their 20-year-olds? You have no idea what's going to happen in training camp. Draft picks, like, sure, would have been nice to put Connor Bedard in here, yeah, but I don't, so I'm just leaving it at last year's rosters, and too many questions, right? Especially with the 20-year-olds. We're getting down to crunch time here, so we'll see. A funny story so Chris and I brought our spouses out to a Moose Jaw. God damn it. No, I'm not doing play-by-play. I thought about it, and you know what? I tried. It's super hard. I don't know if you've ever tried it, but it is not something easy. Whoever does it has all my respect, and it's not something I'm just going to sit down and just wing. It's particularly hard with this because it's sort of hard to see the numbers, and I do not have time to learn the other teams. I know the Pats. I'm not going to learn the other teams, so I just don't have time. It's not my job. I got enough work to do, so what I hope to do is just sit here, react to it, and watch the game, shoot the shit with whoever's watching, drink some beers and stuff, have some fun with it. I was on the thought. What was it? Yeah, it is tough. It's super hard, and because you know your own team. I mean, you know your own team by the numbers and even the lines and how they skate. Sometimes you can just, you don't even have to see who it is. But when it's another team, it is just a mess. So, and this, to be honest, it's hard to see the numbers sometimes, and like. I wish there was a setting. You see other names come up and then they go away so fast. If it left it on, I might be willing to try it, but here we go. Pats are falling apart here in the end. Damn, I hate Moose Jaw. Look at their 7 fans are losing it, but good for them. They can go home to their sisters and cousins and celebrate. So we'll see. I didn't do any promotion with this. It was just a trial. I'll watch it back and see what it looks like. But yeah, maybe we'll pump it up a little bit more. Get the season started in a few weeks. And even if we're behind, I mean, we can do a few double headers. Pats can play 2 games in a night, and that's fine. Oh, just falling apart here now. Hardy with the point. Wow. Fueling fire for the season. Pointing at Busky. You know what, man? That's almost their crowd for a normal game. They did not have great attendance. You know, they actually had a really good team a couple of years ago. And we went to a playoff game and it was sold out. But then, you know, they died after that. And then, even during that year when they had a really good team, like leading into the playoffs, they were, I mean, rankings are, the CHL rankings, of course, are, not a definitive thing or anything, but they get noticed, and they were up there, I think, top 5 at points. They could not draw fans, and it's sad, because I mean, Moose Jaw, there's not that much going on. The team's been there for a while, but there's some arguments that when they moved from they used to have this really cool old rink, and they moved to this new mosaic place, and it just lost a bit of the allure or kind of the culture. I don't know, but they just they haven't been able to draw. Some of the criticism is the parking, but I don't know if that's enough for me not to go to a game. You have to walk a bit. It's still not that far. All right, time winding down here. A few seconds left. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Chris, and everyone. I don't know who's representing the Wildcats podcast, but thanks for tuning in. Hopefully do this again if you're watching it on replay. Of course, we'll keep it up, and we'll have some fun over the year, hopefully. Again, drinking beers, drinking cocktails, shooting the shit. We'll watch the game as it goes, but it'll be kind of conversation as we do. 5-2 loss here for the Pats. But you know what? This is actually pretty accurate simulation. I'm happy with that. And I'll get a few more teams done, and I'll get going on it. Yeah, thanks, Adam. Thanks, it was fun. If you want any help doing it, or if you want to do, I don't know, to figure out and see if we can do some kind of cross league thing and get you guys in on Skype or something. That'd be fun. All right, that was good. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I had fun doing that, actually. I'm pretty impressed how it went. Bandwidth was good. It was a nice test. And keep an eye out on Twitter. Any feedback would be appreciated. Of course, tweet us at WHL Patscast. And we'll sign off for the night. Thanks, everyone.